A private practice specializing in treating children with developmental disorders, traumatic brain injuries, spinal cord injuries, and chronic pain is aiding parents in enhancing their child's overall mental health.
Dr. Kyle Daigle is a chiropractor and author who specializes in transforming young lives with NeuroSolution. Welcome, Dr. Daigle.
Welcome. Good morning.
Thanks.
Good morning. So your book covers autism. So what are some underlying issues related to that?
Yeah, so one is actually abnormal brain waves. These kids have abnormal brain waves in certain aspects of the brain, also the connections between different networks. And there's also something called primitive reflexes that we're finding in these kids. And then from an immune system standpoint, we're actually finding these kids have abnormal gut bacteria. So those are some kind of common things we're seeing in these children.
How can parents help or aid their children who are dealing with autism or being on the spectrum?
Yeah, well, I think first is diet modifications are huge. Low carb diets. The other thing is something called primitive reflex integration exercises that they can get into. And then also what we use is photobiomodulation, which is laser therapy.
Okay.
Oh, wow. So I noticed the laser here. Can we kind of go into that?
Yeah, well, the laser kind of mimics like the sun. Most of these kids actually are indoors all day long, and they're actually having low vitamin D levels. So our goal is to actually get these kids outside. So since they're kind of on tablets most of the time, what we're doing is we're actually replenishing that light with red. So we're using red light over these children to mimic the sun.
So what's the correlation between the sunlight and also you're talking about the gut health as well? What kind of impacts do those have, and how does this aid does that change the neurological brain waves? How does that reflect in the?
Well, it's very interesting. I tell people an animal doesn't need a veterinarian unless they move inside doors. So you take an animal who can eat like rotten meat outside, and the sun produces this UV beam, which actually sanitizes and kills like pathogens. So these kids are staying indoors all day long. They're not outside. So the sun produces vitamin D, but we also have something called chromophores, which are light receptors. We have them on our head. Mm-hmm. And what we're seeing with these kids is when we test their brain waves, they're actually having like something called high beta waves, which is a stress wave. So we take these kids and we put them either outside or we put them under red light. We're seeing that their brainwave activity is changing. It's actually relaxing and calming their brain.
Okay.
So why do you think we're seeing sort of this rise in autism cases?
Well, I think there's a lot of things. I think that kids are, one, you're kind of seeing outside in rural areas, autism rates are down. The closer you get into cities, you're seeing them increase. The other thing is, I think that as you look at the food source, there's a lot of preservatives in food. So kids typically are eating like carbohydrates. They're not eating real food, in my clinical opinion. And I think that also pediatricians, when we take our child to their wellness visits, there's something that's not being tested. It's called primitive reflexes. And these are reflexes that as the infant basically goes through pattern movements, it starts building brain function. And they're not being assessed, so parents don't realize earlier on their children are having developmental delays. So I think it's a combination of abnormal developmental delay. I think diet plays a big factor in this. And the other thing is actually light. These kids are actually playing on tablets all day long and they're not outside in the sun. And the sun is actually pretty healing. And I think that, it's a very unique concept, but there's a lot of research that actually validates that, each of these individual things like light exposure, diet, gut health, and then primitive reflexes can actually improve their overall brain function.
So we obviously have a book here that you've written. Does that go into greater detail to assist parents in helping them work with and through with their children that might be on the spectrum, might be dealing with autism, those kind of things? What kind of extra details go in the book?
Yeah, so I talk about the different labs that parents could actually run, because most of these parents are staying up all night long trying to research. I mean, they're spending hours trying to find answers. And so over the last decade, I've done a lot of research, also teaching all over the world neuroimmunology. So I put all the different lab markers that we're finding positive. One big thing that we're seeing in kids all over the world is actually something called ochratoxin A. It's actually a fungus, and I've seen this in literally every nonverbal child across the globe. I've now seen over 68 countries that are flying in to see me with kids on the spectrum. Every child that's nonverbal is testing positive for this ochratoxin A. So I highlight that in the book. Also some just daily exercises. A lot of these kids don't really have good coordination. So there's kind of daily things that parents can do. And then I also talk about the diet on how important it is.
All important stuff. Great stuff. Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you, guys.
For more information on the doctor and his practices, visit drkyledaigle.com, or you can visit neurosolutionslc.com.